Hello everybody, welcome back to Thomas Plays Games. I'm playing Factorio 15.12 by now, but this version was 15.10 at the time of recording. So yeah, we're just continuing on. This is episode 8 of the Let's Play, and yeah, I'm just trying to get things in position for when I get plastics researched. In the last episode, we kind of set up a bit of continued setting up the oil, because I lost some of the footage from episode 6. But yeah, we set up some of the basic stuff for getting sulfuric acid and got ready to get plastics, because you do need a lot of each of those for later games. If you're planning on using lots of robotics, you need lots of batteries and thus sulfuric acid. And if you want to do any sort of module work or anything like that, you're going to need a heck load of circuits and plastic. So yeah, just looking around, trying to see. I'm trying to figure out how much how much I can upgrade of the belts, what I need for each of the things. Just, yeah, taking a quick look, see how things are going. Eventually, I want that whole iron patch in the at the end of the main bus to be covered with mining drills, so we can get rid of it soon. Yeah, I seem to very quickly be running out of power, so I try to, solve that situation by adding in a couple boilers and steam engines. Seem to need. Yeah, every little while I need more and more of these. I guess because I add quite a lot of stuff to the factory. And just take down the steps, don't need them there. Yeah, just figuring out where I want the power poles. Still haven't upgraded to the higher, more advanced ones yet, so we're just waiting a bit. Just pop these guys down. Cool, and we just increase our power output by another 20-30%. And the column's looking pretty nice overall. As long as we keep, as long as the coal input is at a good level, we're not going to have any issues with power for a while. And eventually I'll switch mostly to solar, and then when the power requirements get huge and ridiculous, I'll probably try some of the nuclear power. Although it might take a while to get to the nuclear. When you deal with the higher research cost, it really is a big deal. And it looks like there's a pretty small amount of steel going in, so I'm trying to see, do I need more steel? It doesn't look like I need more right now. But yeah, like I was saying, the nuclear power is huge requirement, so it's not easy to get. 4,000 blue science is a pretty tall order. And I can go further with the underground belts, but for aesthetics reasons, I just decide not to. Pick up some more iron. Yeah, the base is functional, but still pretty darn small. I've only got a couple major areas, and it's like the science area, the circuit area, the oil area, the belt area, and the smelting area. There's no real, there's not much hustle and bustle yet. So we're getting there, though. We're getting there. And, we're just kind of in, Factorio problem-solving mode, just waiting for a couple things to happen, namely the research, and just, looking around, seeing if there's anything that I should be improving. If I have the resources for the belts, I'd like to improve the belts. Yeah, but the increase in gear cost with the 4 iron plates per gear means that it takes a ridiculous amount of iron to get every single red belt. I think it's it's at least 10, so it's 10 iron plates per red belt, which is, it might even be more than that. It could be 25. It could be up to 25. Yeah, so I just want to, set that up, or I'm just trying to, solve the problems in that. And because I'm so low on regular red belts, and the way that I set up the belts normally, underground belts have priority, I decided to just, I'm going to throw down the underground belts in position in replacement to the regular belts. Even though the iron cost is higher, I have more underground belts than I do regular belts right now. And we'll just set up just a basic balancer of the plastic when it's done, waiting for the research to happen. Do have lots and lots of time between researches. Take a little peek at the uranium, see how it is. I love the new map. It is absolutely awesome. Just hitting M and being able to look at all of your base and just check on how things are. And I found out that you can actually place blueprints while on the map, And I don't think I realized that in this episode, but knowing that fact is just huge. It means that you can just place, you don't even have to really move once you get robotics up. You can just kind of like start placing things. As long as they're in your logistics, you can really get a good base going. So you're just running around. The circuit production's pretty low, but it's adequate for this point in the game. And I got some spare time before the plastics are done, so I figure I'll try to increase the amount of mining drills on the belt. Maybe pretty it up by adding some lights. Yeah, this patch is like 2 million or something iron, so I want to get rid of it as soon as possible, add more space for when I need them. And the whole outside seems to be pretty much done, so I'll pick up these guys. I have no more use for them right now. A couple of those still need stuff, but yeah. We'll just place these down. It takes it's like a pretty ludicrous amount of mining drills if you're doing it this way. I used to place them with a space in between. We're taking up covering the whole patch with the least amount of possible mining drills. But I've kind of switched that up recently. I figure if I want the resources, I want them as soon as possible. There's no need in waiting. Although I might switch that up later if I start doing outposts with productivity modules in them. Because in that case, you probably don't need, or you don't want full coverage because you want to use. It would be extremely costly on the modules, and modules are actually difficult to make rather than the moderate difficulty, not very much difficulty of the mining drills. So you would want to use the least amount of mining drills on a patch if you're using modules, since they're hard to make. And I'm just taking a look at see how the production of inserters is going. Seems to be doing okay. The column of 20 science facilities, it's looking pretty good, pretty highly saturated in both red and green science, so we're doing pretty okay in that. Take a look at the power. There's a big drop at one point. Not really sure why that happened. It might have just been like I wasn't paying attention, or I cut the I think it was probably when I cut the oil, when I cut the coal to do something and didn't put it back on. But yeah, we're still just killing time before plastics. Yeah. We'll keep it the 1.5 speed. Seems to be a good pace. And yeah, just want some copper over here. Get ready for I think it's to get ready for batteries. Yeah. So batteries, to get batteries, you need iron, copper, and sulfuric acid to make batteries. And batteries are a pretty important thing in the base. So figure I'll try to get some of those. There we go. Plastics just popped, which means now I can work on the next thing I want, which I'm thinking probably going to be batteries, but I might want some other things eventually, depending on how much each thing costs. And eventually I decide on batteries. Yeah, we are going to run into a bit of an issue because of the fact that I started putting things on the bottom of the belt, or on the bottom of the bus. I kind of limited the amount of space I'm going to actually have to do things, or I kind of limit the amount of space I have to put things on the main bus, because it's just not that easy I don't have that much space. So yeah, I kind of end up later on with a little bit of spaghetti, which I'll alleviate at some point. But we don't have as much space as I normally would like to work with. I'll just thread the coal through there, get the plastics coming in. 3 machines seems to be a good amount. You use plastics for red circuits, and I never find that you need... I rarely find that plastic is the problem. I find that it's always circuits that are the problem, as long as you have adequate petroleum. Yeah, it's a pretty simple recipe to make plastic, so it's not that tough, but when you're dealing with petroleum, it is a little inconvenient. There we go. We just connect it all up. Beauty. So we got 3 plastic machines, still good on the power setup. And now we're just going to wait on batteries, so I got to take some time to get ready for that. We have the iron going. Yeah, we have iron going back to make sulfuric acid, and I just got to get the copper back so that I can work on that stuff. Get all that ready for go. There's still not a full saturation of the copper area, but we don't need much copper yet. I'm able to cover the circuit production adequately with the amount of copper that's being produced, so it seems to be okay for now. Although honestly, it is a little slow. Pick up a couple underground belts. 150. And yeah, we're just kind of running around waiting for things to be produced. So far, I have an adequate amount of iron being produced, so I don't really have that much issue with that. Steel isn't a big requirement yet, so I have no problems with that one either. And right here is where I decided to put the actual battery production, far enough away that if I want to add modules and beacons, I should have space to do it, and also if I need to do any major changes. The oil setup in this game I felt very proud of, very happy with how I managed it. I left myself lots and lots of space for upgrades and for changes, so I'm pretty happy with how it went. There we go, get the battery stuff. And unfortunately, I'm low on belts, so I gotta use the underground ones. We'll just go over to here. Underground into there, and there we go. So we got that stuff. Now, put the inserters in the wrong way, accidentally. And there we go, just gotta connect this up to a main power line. Still using the basic power poles for now. Once I get the research, I'll upgrade to the better ones. But yeah, it's a pretty simple recipe for this stuff. You just need iron, copper, and sulfuric acid, which makes it pretty. It's pretty easy design. It's just that getting enough batteries or getting enough petroleum so that you can get enough batteries is always the problem. And yeah, here I'm just checking to see how much or what I actually need. What I actually need for batteries, just to double check the recipe, make sure I'm remembering correctly. You can see I've got 4 assembly machines going pretty much consistently, and I still barely get 20 belts every time I show up again. So I'm a little starved for belt production. But yeah, I've got a huge amount of red signs produced already, so we're just making the green signs now. I'll pick up the iron from my own personal chest that I left there, just in case I need it for anything. And I do happen to need iron pretty consistently, or pretty frequently and consistently. Yeah, we'll ditch all the other stuff I don't need into this area, so that it can be used for fuel instead of taking up space in my inventory. And you got to figure out a way to deal with your trash before you get the actual auto trash dumper. Or the logistics trash slots. So yeah, again, just like before, have time before the next research, set everything up the way I want. So now, just kind of got to, fill in the time. And I've got this huge iron patch to deal with, so I figure I'll just add in a couple more mining drills to it, clear it out a little bit. You gotta chop down the trees until you get until you get robots. So, just gotta practice swinging that arm and take these trees down. Yeah, so I didn't end up placing many of the mining drills yet. The unfortunate fact is that to place the mining drills, I also need the belts, which are extremely expensive right now. So it makes it a little tough to place a lot of these things, because the stack, or the iron patch is big enough that it's like 40 some belts, or 40 some columns tall, which means 40 some belts to actually get the iron where you want it. Yeah. And right now I'm getting enough iron to adequately feed all 3 of these furnace setups. Well, mostly adequately. You can see there's a couple of those that aren't properly on. But yeah, I'm just taking stock of how things are, seeing if I really do need more mining drills yet. And I didn't need them at the moment. But you can see a lot of the iron isn't actually making it, or the iron's being used very, very consistently on the belts. So even though I have adequate production to fill the belts, I should be upgrading whenever I can to the next level of belts so that I can actually increase this stuff. You know, just checking on the uranium that I'm producing there, seeing how it is. The levels of oil seem pretty good. You have to worry about them until you get the advanced oil cracking. And I haven't yet set up blue science yet, so I need to keep an eye on those. I'll probably have to add a few more storage tanks in the meantime. And I think that was batteries popping. Was it? No, it was not. I'm just checking something. I figure while I have time in between batteries, I set up the battery area, and now I looking like, how do I want to do the military science now? Military science in a railworld peaceful-ish, pseudo-peaceful run is not that important, but it is nice to get, because some of the more useful sciences, like, you know, energy shields, legs. Actually, I don't think legs take them. Like energy shields and some of the useful military technologies do require the military science packs, so it's important to automate them, and they're relatively low tech, without needing too much fancy ingredients. So I don't need to worry about them that much. I accidentally chop down something or take down something I don't want to. But yeah, so I started blocking out where I wanted the military science, and I figure I should also upgrade the iron area, so I'll worry about the smelting. I'll worry about adding more iron smelting in here. But yeah, just kind of like running around, half solving problems, getting ready to solve more later. So what I'm doing here is setting up a 3-2, let's see, it was a 2 to 3 splitter, so that I can get adequately split the things up between the 3 general setups I have. So that's what I want there. Get those into position. That should be okay. And there we go. Now, as long as I have the more upgraded belts, it should pretty adequately lead those in there. Don't need the splitter in there. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to upgrade the splitter so I have a pretty adequate way to set these up. And there we go, just placing these things down. I want another, I believe it was iron plate stack here. So, you know, just gotta destroy the forest, just mangle it, and make more space for industry. Yeah, lots and lots of trees to kill. But at least it does, you know, fuel for the furnaces at least. It's the unfortunate, you know, I've said it before, but the unfortunate bit about forests, you gotta tear all the forest down if you want to actually use it adequately. But yeah, just running around. We're almost at the position where batteries are back, or are fully researched. So I do want to get down here to set them up so I can start getting batteries as soon as possible. They're not, you know, like plastic, batteries aren't normally the things that keep your factory from humming, but it is nice to get them going as soon as possible. And yeah, I'm just trying to look and see what I want next. There's a whole bunch of just red and blue or red and green sciences that are nice in betweens. So I'll figure I'll work on those. And I end up grabbing military 2. It's a very cheap technology, only 80 of each, which normally would be a lot if you're not playing on expensive research, but like 80 is almost nothing in this game. So pretty darn cheap overall. and it'll allow me to actually properly fill out the, or properly set up the military science. As I was saying before, it's important to grab, but unfortunately I wasn't able to grab it at the time, and I do want to start setting it up so I can get some of the military sciences when I need them. It's I'm doing a off-camera Death World play, and it's really important to set up military science in that one. The biters are relentless in that game. Just trying to make the setup symmetrical. Upgrading the belts. Yeah, I'm trying to upgrade all the belts to red belts so that I can get more iron going to this facility to try to make sure that try to make sure that all the gears and everything gets to the actual belt producing area as fast as possible. And I'm looking at these things, why not get landfill? It's just a bunch of stone. Landfill's a really useful way to deal with all the stone you're gonna end up with in your map, so I figure might as well grab it. Yeah. So it's I want to get batteries onto the belt, but I don't have enough belts to actually properly do that yet. So I was trying to upgrade the belts, and then once I got to that point, I was like, okay, well now I'll try to, upgrade some of the things. Still didn't have enough belts, so I figure I'll go poke around at military science. And we're just going to see how this is. Picking up a bunch of iron so I can make things if I want them. And normally I do want things. But yeah, we're very, very low on belts still, so I'm trying to upgrade those using underground belts whenever I can. And there we go. That's batteries onto the bus. Pretty decent stack of them already. Quite nice. Just get rid of the yellow belts that I had before. And yeah, now we're going to start looking into how I want this done. The military science is not that difficult, but it's a little annoying. So the reason it's annoying is that the turrets take a lot of gears, but they also take copper and iron plates, which are a little annoying to grab, but not the end of the world. They're not that difficult to deal with. So it takes turrets, regular gun turrets. It takes the bullets. It takes advanced bullets, and it takes grenades. So the turrets are annoying because they take a lot of things in general, and it's hard to get lots and lots of gears in this because of the expensive recipes. The bullets are actually the easiest part. They're not that hard to deal with. They're a little inconvenient because they need iron to make the default bullets, and then copper and steel to make the upgraded bullets, as well as the previous level bullets. And then the most annoying portion is the grenades. The reason the grenades are annoying because they actually take coal, which is a really weird thing because normally I don't belt coal. I think it's not worth it. But they take coal and iron, which is a weird recipe. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those because I have to somehow, weave coal into the area where I want military science to be produced, which just makes for a ugly spaghetti mess. But yeah, so they take lots and lots of gears, and a bunch of iron and copper, which is not ideal. So we're trying to just get the gun turrets produced, and gun turrets are normally the things that prevent lots and lots of military science from being actually made. So here I want to make the gears. Yeah, so iron goes in, gears go out, and I'll belt copper onto the other side of that belt right there. Unfortunately, again, I am out of belts, so we just gotta go back, pick up whatever was made in that time, and yeah, there we go. I'm actually gonna stop the episode here. So thank you for watching. Thomas Plays Games. Hope to see you all next time. Bye.